I just want to say good morning to everybody and welcome. Bonjour tout le monde. We have an exciting announcement today that we hope is welcomed by the sporting and really the curling community, not just here in the greater Fredericton area, but right here on campus and indeed from across the country. Before we start, I do want to acknowledge that we are on traditional Wolastoqey territory here, and the St. John River, of course, that will bring us the water that we need to make some ice in March is known as Wolastoq, and we're thankful for it and its traditional peoples. I also want to take a moment just to recognize a few of the folks that have joined us other than those here at this table. Dean Wayne Albert is here from the Faculty of Kinesiology, thank you. A big supporter of the Varsity Reds, and no doubt we'll see him at Willie O'Ree Place in a few months. Wayne Talon, representing the city and the Capital Winter Club, great to see you. And some of the members of our Varsity Reds curling teams, and most specifically some of the men who brought a bronze medal back from the 2018 U Sports Championships in Leduc. So congratulations to you guys, and thanks for being here all. Now to the reason that we've come together. We have three people here to help us make today's announcement. We're going to use this microphone here at the podium, if you don't mind. We'll start by introducing you to the Mayor of the City of Fredericton, Mike O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I was going to say good afternoon. And thanks for having me here today. I'm going to be very brief to allow questions afterwards. But today I'm very excited to announce that the City of Fredericton, the host Capital Winter Club, and the University of New Brunswick Varsity Reds are really pleased to announce that we are jointly hosting at Willie O'Ree Place 3 Canadian Curling Championships events in early 2019. They are the 2019 U Sport University Championships on March 15th to the 19th, the 2019 Canadian Collegiate Athletic Association College Championships, the same time frame, March 15th to the 19th, and the 2019 Canadian Mixed Double Championships from March 19th to the 24th. So athletes from universities and colleges from across the country will be coming to our capital city to compete for these Canadian championships. And the top curlers in the country will be coming together in the new exciting 2-person mixed team format to compete for the national title. So the Canadian universities will be represented by 8 women's and 8 men's team. The CCAA colleges will also have 8 women's teams and 8 men's teams. And the mixed doubles will have 32 teams here in the city. In total, 234 athletes and 64 coaches will be competing, and families and officials and everybody else. It's going to be a wonderful event. So the strong partnerships that we have here in the city have allowed these things to take place, these bids to be put together and for us to be successful on them. A lot of people work behind the scenes and have the connections and the passion to drive these things through, and I really appreciate that. And our sports tourism events efforts here in the city. And Bobby Dupre is here with us today, our sports tourism manager for the city. We've really been able to take this to a new level and forge partnerships. And it's paying great dividends for the economic development in the city. These 3 events are estimated to be, will have an economic impact of about $500,000 to the greater Fredericton region. So significant economic boost. It puts the City of Fredericton and our Capital Winter Club and the University of New Brunswick on the national stage again, and shows what we can do when we put our collective efforts together. So congratulations to everybody that helped put this bid on, that'll be delivering these great events, and to the strong partnerships that we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. Exciting news indeed, and thank you for going into so much detail there. Next speaker, to my immediate left, who will join us at the podium, is the Director of Athletics here at the University of New Brunswick, Mr. John Richard.
Thanks, Andy. It's a pleasure to be here this morning for what our mayor just announced, a very exciting announcement. You know, I have to be honest with you, when Wayne Talon called me last fall, we were on the eve of hosting our 12th National Youth Sports Championships in the last 16 years, and to say we're going to go again wasn't probably great timing originally, but I certainly became very comfortable and excited about the event, and that speaks to Wayne and his crew. I've had some dealings with the curling group in the city, and I know every time we host an event in the city, the volunteers tend to be the same, regardless of the sport. And we certainly over the 12 we've hosted in the last 16 years have found that. It's not just about hockey or basketball or soccer or volleyball volunteers. It's just about community volunteers. And Wayne's group, when they've hosted a couple curling events, the same thing happens. So I quickly got excited. It'll mark, as I said, the 13th National Youth Sports Championship, CIS National Championship, now Youth Sports Championship in the last 17 years. When you look around the country, especially for an institution our size, that's unparalleled. A lot of the larger schools are hosting these championships, or a smaller school takes one on every decade or so. But we have gotten in this business with the partnerships with the city, with the support that we have on campus, and certainly our Dean of Kinesiology, Wayne Albert, is paramount in that. And we look forward to hosting this championship, and certainly with the success of both of our curling teams in hosting the Atlantic Championships this past year, and then our men qualifying for the Youth Sports Championships in Alberta and bringing home a medal was certainly exciting, and hopefully we see both teams on the podium here in the city next March. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. And finally, representing the Canadian Collegiate Athletic Association is the Athletic Director from the University of New Brunswick, St. John, Mr. David Munro.
Well, it's great to be here with John and Mike, introducing this and announcing these championships. It's a pleasure to be representing the CCAA today. CCAA has 94 institutions, 9,000 athletes, student athletes, and it's just great to be part of this group of championships. The first ever CCAA Curling Canada event took place this past March. And we were twinned with the U Sports Championship for the first time. And no question about it, the CCAA reps and student athletes at the championship just had an outstanding experience. And it certainly bodes well for the growth of curling in the future to get these kind of events together, especially the two largest post-secondary institutions or organizations in Canada. The CCAA is pleased to be working with Curling Canada. We feel the increased exposure through championships like the one coming up next year, like the one that was hosted this year, will certainly increase the number of curlers across Canada. It's nice to have a national championship to aspire to, as our medalist will attest. By the way, congratulations to our medalists here today from UNB. It's great to see a nice heavy medal. The CCAA is very excited about the championships coming to Fredericton. Everyone knows, John just mentioned it, everyone knows that the City of Fredericton, UNB, and St. Thomas host some of the best national championships in the country. We're very proud of that, and the CCAA certainly looks forward to being here in this city for that event. Looks forward to collaborating with the Atlantic University Athletic Association as well, and the city of Fredericton, as well as the local community and all the volunteers. It takes a lot of volunteers to run a national championship, as everyone knows. 3 championships in 1 week is really going to be quite an amazing week. And so we at the CCAA are really looking forward to it, and I will be in attendance myself, so I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you, all three of you. We do have a few minutes. I know Bill Hunt is here from the Daily Gleaner. We can ask questions of the folks here at the table, or we could break for one-on-ones. It's up to you. Okay, very good. Well, thanks everybody for coming and joining us here today. We look forward to seeing everybody March 15th to 19th and then 19th to 24th next year for these 3 curling championships. It's going to be quite 9 days of curling. Thank you all.